What's going on today? I'm going to talk a little bit more about money, power, and influence. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit more about money, power, and influence. Let me see something for a second. Might notice something a little bit different about my channel. You might notice something a little bit different. Let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Hold on. Hold on just a second. Let's see what we got here. Might notice something a little bit different. Okay. Might notice something. Hold on. Something is a little bit different. Let me see how it looks as far as on the playback here. Let's see here. I'm on StreamYard, so let me see how it looks as far as on YouTube. Let's see here. See if I can see something here that is a little bit different, or maybe you can notice it if you see it. So I can't see my actual. I can't see my videos. Let's see here. See if I can find it. Let's see here. Let me see. Let's see here. Mm, 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 mm. Won't open this. Okay. Let's see here. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I should have the super chat ability, but I can't necessarily see it. I don't see it. I can't open up my video. But anyway, I should have that functionality. Let me see if this works. Oh yeah. I see it. Yeah, that's been, man. That's been missing for that's been missing for some years. That's been missing for some years. Just got that back like just recently. Hopefully we can hold on to that for a little while. But anyway, um I'm definitely that's definitely gives me an incentive to go live a lot more, to give out, to do more content, because if I could offset some costs, that would be great. But anywho, it's still business as usual, which is pretty much I'm just giving out that free fire content to help you learn some things, and then I learned some stuff in the process. So one of the things I was thinking about earlier, and that's why I wanted to talk about more on this topic as far as money, power, and influence. So it's kind of like one of those things where when I thought about it, I'm like, damn, why didn't I think about this 10 years ago, 20 years ago? And I thought about it before, but I thought about it from a perspective of being an entrepreneur. So, like, once you, and this is for people that have actually been entrepreneurs, small business owners, business owners, or even just like, yeah, if you own a building or if you own some real estate, you know the power of hiring people. Like, why? Like, one of the things I never forget when I had my computer store on the south side of Chicago, I used to, like, before I had my store, I used to wonder why I keep getting hired. Why people keep hiring people? Why do people like hire people, and why do people get jobs so easily? And when I had my store, I realized why, because you need help. You need extra hands. You need like somebody, like if I left my store is closed. If I got somebody there, my store is not closed. And it's just like a lot of things, and I realized, damn, that's why people be hiring people. I realized then and there that people are an asset. That's why they call human resources. But I knew that. But what I thought about like recently, I think yeah, pretty much today I thought about it because I was thinking about power. I was focusing in on power, and basically I was thinking, what can you do to tap into power? And just kind of like reconditioning my mind to not think of money, and whatnot, and just think of power and influence. And one of the things that I thought about was, and I thought about this yesterday because I was listening to my own content, my live stream on money, power, and influence that I did like a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, I don't know. I was thinking about, well, when you tap into people's skill sets, like everybody has a skill. Even if they don't like necessarily have a skill, they have some type of gift. Like for example, women, right? All women have something that they like, by default, usually women have some type of, sexual um something good sexually that they offer to men. And that's obvious, right? Some have more to offer than others. And it's not necessarily a skill set. Some women do have skills. Like some women absolutely, and of course, women teach other women how to please men. They teach, they have classes on um fellatio, they have classes on all kinds of stuff, how to ride, what I'm saying, like they do all kind of stuff, like but women by default, they bring something to the table. Men bring something to the table that women want, and then I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about the recent current events, not just Diddy, but I was thinking about the guy in Idaho, like actually the young guy in Idaho that shot the firefighters, and also the guy that just got convicted. He just pleaded to life in prison for basically offing the four college students. I think it was like four or five of them, and he pleaded to basically life and basically guilty for the option of life in prison to avoid the death penalty. And what I was thinking was, and I was listening to, and I normally don't listen to these people, but just something, I guess the universe, I'll say something like maybe Free Zone Lou has something to do with it because he did a clip of Chaotic Truth, and I was listening to um Chaotic Truth today when they were talking about incels, primarily white male incels. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, they were saying kind of crazy, well, kind of tripped out things like the government should step in and and just kind of mandate, put some funding together so these young white incels can basically get laid, because um without having a woman, you're missing a big part of life. Even for women, you got women that are femcells too. They're single and lonely, and they're decentering men and all of that type of stuff, or whatever crazy cockamamie stuff that they're doing. They're basically not dealing with men. So you got to understand, like, that's a big thing when it comes to men, when you're not able to have a woman to offload on, physically, that you get build up, you know, it's something to it does something to your body. And it's like a lot of guys, they don't know how to channel that. They don't know how to deal with that. Not every man is, 6'3" with the athletic build, in an athletic background, that is, physically masculine and all of that type of stuff. Like the average man, might be about what, 5'7", 5'8", might be slim build. It's just very, people come in all shapes and sizes. I don't really have to work hard to get women. I mean, I was blessed by my parents, ideally my father, to where um I get looks by all women of all, walks of life. And I'm grateful that I try to maintain that. But not all men are, blessed with that ability. Like, not all men have that inner desire or inner drive to be that dude. Like, when you walk, not every dude walks out the house and has the confidence that he's that dude. Like, even if he ain't got a car, like, to wear some nice clothes and have that confidence that you that dude, and that, women, and women want you. Not all men have that notion. Not all men have that internal power, within them. But I just, what I'm saying, that's what I was thinking about when it comes to that. But that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. I'm just saying that from a perspective of, back to what I'm saying about money, power, and influence. Power, every person has some type of power, internal power. They're usually in a guise of they have some type of value with that power, whether that be, whatever natural God given ability that you have, and what you provide, right? Like, everybody has some type of, worth or value, right? And one of the things that I was thinking about, like I said today, was that, a lot of companies, that's how they get stupid uber wealthy, because they already have the momentum, they have funding, they have the company, they build teams of people around this company, and they push this, company to where it becomes, like Nvidia, where it becomes this powerful tech conglomerate, right? And that's because of the people. The people did that. Like, people don't even think about it. Like, people, a lot of I know a lot of people might be unemployed, looking for a job, or laid off, or recently laid off, and they have a perception, or they might even have a job now, and they have a perception that the job is more important than them. But you got to understand, take any company, that company, it might be powerful, it might be financially robust and has a lot of influence, but its power is harnessed the momentum of that company is taken higher through its employees. When you have people that, are good with marketing, you have people that are good with databases, you got people that are good with software development, you got people that's good that manages your network, cybersecurity. All of these people are like assembled Avengers that work for a company, and they make that company, the company, profitable. They make that company money. Like your employer makes money off of you. That they harness your power, and they extract capital from that value that you provide. Now, if it comes out that you don't really provide that much, power, or whatever, you're more of a liability. They'll let you go. But the more profitable and powerful you are, or what you provide, they're gonna keep you on, right? Like software developers, they always looking for software developers, right? Every company has an ongoing job listing for software developers, software engineers. The reason why is those positions are like key building blocks to any company. So uh you having that skill set is a form of power that company can use to make more money. Like look at if you don't believe me, right? Look at, okay, just not only within 1 year. Look what happened with Sam Altman from OpenAI. He literally started a bidding war with his company. He was going to Microsoft, I believe. Man, they handled that situation real fast to get that man back to OpenAI. They fired or got rid of whoever that was involved that didn't agree with Sam Altman, or gave him some type of care package or whatever to get him back to OpenAI, because they needed his power and influence to run that company. Same thing happened to Steve Jobs. He left Apple. Apple started going belly up. They needed the same guy that started Apple to come back and make it what it was. And he did. Not only did he make it what it was from the early 80s, he made it legendary. He made Apple basically a brand that is world renowned, right? You know, pretty much everybody has some type of Apple device, right? Because of Steve Jobs, his power and influence, not his money, his power and influence. Okay, so that's what I was thinking about, because I was like, because see, that's how people get rich. I'm gonna tell you another thing, right? And we talking primarily about power. It's not necessarily about money, because like my whole theory is, just in case if you didn't watch the other live stream, my theory is if you get power and influence, you'll get money. If you focus on power and influence, you probably will get it. Will all roads lead to Rome. So if you focus on power and influence, you will get money. So okay, for example, another example of people tapping into human resources and in people's skill set, primarily their power, right? Their labor, which is, labor is power, right? So a lot of people don't know this, right? So if you go and you contact a number, let's just say you're looking for some drywall to be installed. So you call this number, and it's guy picks up the phone, and he's like, okay, what do you need? Do you know what square footage your house is? What time are you available for somebody to come by and take it a look? And you thinking the guy you on the phone call with is the one that's going to be installing the drywall. No, that guy that you call, he has a number that's associated with a business that he owns, and he contracts out work to contractors. He doesn't even go to the house. He basically makes sure that he basically contacts the available contractors to go out and give them some type of lay of the land of the house, square footage primarily, what's needed. And then from that, he calls you back the next day and gives you a quote. And you pay him, and then he's going to pay the contractor. So he gives you, and this is a true story. This actually happened to me. I got a quote for, I called this guy that I think he was like, I got his number somewhere. I don't know where. He sends a Mex is a white guy that I called that did drywall, or at least that's what I thought, right? But he sent a Mexican out the next day to look at my property to figure out what the square footage was and everything. That Mexican relayed everything back to him. He called me the next day with an estimate. Said like I think he said like 5 grand, okay, to finish up the drywall of my house. So if I paid, let's say I did that and I paid him, he's going to give the Mexican guy probably like $1,000, maybe $1,500, and he's keeping the $3,500 just for his business. All he did was pick up the phone and basically like orchestrate everything. Okay. And that's a lot of people, that's how they operate in business. They're using basically human resources, which is people's power, which is labor in this case, and skill sets of knowing how to install drywall, lifting drywall, right? Bringing you got to bring drywall in, and those heavy sheets. Those sheets are like, one sheet of drywall is like around 40 pounds. Two sheets is about 80 pounds. I can lift two sheets by myself. Now, when you imagine putting a sheet of drywall on a ceiling, it's very difficult to do, right? They have lifts that you can lift, machinery that lift this drywall. So it's a pretty extensive job. Now, what did I do? Okay, I just beat out the middleman. The last quote I got was from the exact the actual source, the direct source of the people that would most likely be installing the drywall, which was the what? Mexicans. I got a number, I think from somewhere, I think maybe like somewhere I got this number, and these guys came over and they gave me a quote for $1,800 to do the same drywall. And all I had to do was get like 10 sheets of drywall or something like that, and they was gonna do it. I didn't go with them because just things happen, but I went right to the source, and I bypassed the middleman. I bypassed the businessman, right, with the phone number, and went straight to the power source, right. So the thing is that alone is how you make money. Like when you use people's power and basically directly to the direct sources you possibly can, you can make infinite money, right? Like if you could have a landscaping crew of nothing but like ex offenders and people that are recovering from drugs, like, and they basically need something to do, they need some money. You can use the fact that they need to basically a job to basically get all of these landscaping jobs done. Like that's what people do, and that's the thing is that any company that you could think of, that's how they continuously get richer and richer and richer and richer. They are tapping into power, the power of the people. People don't got, the average person that talks about their job and all of their conversations about their job, they don't got no money. They don't really have that much influence. They have the ability to go to that job, dress up, get up, go to work, and work that job, whatever they do. and make that company meet its bottom line. And they're one of thousands of people that do that, and they don't think of it like that. The average person that's a worker, that has a worker mindset, they don't think of, basically what they're providing is making a company rich as hell. They don't think of it like that. They think of, oh, thank God, thank you, Jesus, I got this job. That's how the average person, if I walked around Gary, Indiana, that's the average person's thought process. Thank God, thank you, Jesus, I got this job. That's what they think. They don't think I'm making this business billions and billions of dollars because I am putting up my power and making this company more money and more influence, um and power, with using my power, being an employee. They don't The average person, that's the average person's mindset, does not think like that. Now I do, because when you work in IT, you know exactly what you're doing. So for example, right, I don't do this now. I did do this before, but I used to, I work jobs where I used to image a whole bunch of laptops or install basically Windows, Microsoft Windows on a whole bunch of laptops. Okay, so when you go to, let's just say, Best Buy Geek Squad, and then you need your laptop or desktop, you need Windows reinstalled on it. They're gonna charge you anywhere between $100 and some dollars or $200 for one computer. So imagine I'm doing 10 in one day or more, and I'm just getting paid $35 an hour or $32 an hour. They're getting a discount off of my labor. They're making money by getting a discount off of my labor. Somebody called my phone and said, Abdul, I need you to install Windows. I'm going to say $175. That's just one device. You know, um, I'll do up to four for the same price. But, most of the time people just need one device, right? So the thing is that, imagine 10 people contacted me and they needed the same thing done, or they needed some work done on a computer or whatever, needs something set up. It's still the same price or a similar price. And my company, just because they gave me a job, they get a discount by basically saying, whatever you could do in an hour, we're only giving you 30 something dollars an hour for whatever you can do in an hour, which is absurd, because I don't even charge people by the hour. I charge people a flat rate. Any type of install that's needed, historically, I charge them a flat rate, which was around, like I say, about $100 and something dollars. Okay, my company, the company I work for, and then this is how a lot of companies do it. They're giving you 30 something dollars an hour, or whatever, an hour, for you to do a whole bunch of work for a discount, for a discounted rate. And that's the same thing for mechanics. Really, to be honest, if you really think about it, you really kind of low key getting robbed. You get in it, at the very least, the very most, you getting robbed. The very least, you're giving your employer, because you're giving them a discount off of your labor costs, because they giving you a guaranteed paycheck for the most part every week or 2 weeks. You're giving them a discount off of your labor that you would charge if somebody else called you up. Whatever you did, whatever you do now, you're going to charge them way more than what your employer pays you. And that's kind of how that works. Like that's why these companies, that's why the rich get rich in this chart here. This is why the wealth distribution thing is off the chain. The poor work for the rich, the entrepreneurial class, the business class, the millionaires and billionaires. People, they need a job, so and they're not trained to be part of the entrepreneurial and business class, right? The millionaires and billionaires, they're not trained to operate like that, so they're employee focused, okay, and then they're basically giving their labor capital away, their power, right, and influence to a company, and that company is making I mean, it's making a whole bunch of money off of their labor capital, their power, and that's what I was thinking about. That was what I was thinking about because I was thinking, how can I tap into that? How can and in this other ways? This is why real estate is powerful. This is why I like real estate because, like what I'm saying, like you do need funding for real estate, but that's one of the things I like about real estate is you're basically doing the same thing an employer does. A one house, right? If you got the funding, if you can get people that are good workers to basically fix your house up, and don't really charge you that much, you can make money off of real estate because basically most people, they want to, you dealing with contractors, you're dealing with employees and self-employed individuals. You might even be dealing, depending on where you are, like I'll be honest, in Gary, Indiana, other places as well, you deal with unemployed people that just need to, basically get some money. They might need a bottle of wine, or some gin to get started, right? Or beer, and they're unemployed or they're, in the system D category. And they get $100 and then they moving some trash out of your garage. And what I'm saying, they're not necessarily your employee. They're not, self-employed either officially. They're not operating off of self-employment, right? Meaning they file taxes and everything like that. They're system D or unemployed. A lot of real estate investors, they deal with people that are system D and unemployed. They don't, they don't really care if you're self-employed. They don't have any employees. Um, some companies, some real estate investors, they do want you to be at least self-employed, to have a contractor's license or have some business name with your invoice, give you a proper invoice and everything like that. I will say if you do operate like that, you probably have less problems because a lot of the problems with real estate is dealing with people that are unemployed and operate under system D. Shoddy work. You don't have anything to go. You don't have anything that you could sue these people with because they don't have anything with their name attached because they're not operating out of out of the business paradigm, because at least self-employment, it is still part of the business paradigm. It's still part of the, Robert Kiyosaki, basically financial matrix. Self-employed person does most likely, if they're legitimate, they have some type of liability insurance. They have a business tax ID. They have some type of business name. They have proper business invoices. They operate professionally. Well, people operating under the table, with just some trucking and some tools, they might do good work, but you might get one or two that don't do good work and might even run off with your money, and not finish the job. So those are the I will say, I'm not saying that people that are self-employed wouldn't do that, but most of the people that I would say does that, is System D and people that are unemployed, because whatever reason. So, but real estate is a way where you can tap into people's power, their labor capital, and whatever they know how to do. Some people just they don't have legitimate business, but they know how to lay some drywall. They know how to lay some flooring. They know how to put in kitchen cabinets. They know how to fix a whole house up, from start to finish. Like they just don't, have a legitimate business operation. And people make money off of those people's basically power, their labor and skill set. And that's how you can make money, okay? Focusing on what can someone do for you, right? Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Women provide a lot if you really think about it. If you look at women, they provide a lot. And I'm not simping. Like I'm just saying, like, you know, you give them some sperm, they're gonna provide you a baby. That baby is gonna have your legacy, your DNA, probably gonna look like you. If you get a good woman, she'll help you run your business. She'll answer some phones, she'll take down numbers, she'll call people back while you're busy. She'll be like your, personal secretary. She might help you, clean out some houses, organize, do some decorating, interior decorating. She might go get her license so she can help you sell the houses. I mean, my house right now, I got a black woman. She's a hustler. She's a nurse, full-time nurse, and she sell real estate on, she don't like to say on the side because she's like, it just has a connotation to say you sell real estate on the side. It's like, when you talk about side, you think of like a side hole, or a side hustle, and it's not. She says she tries to, do put her all into even real estate, and not just, being a nurse, a full-time nurse. But anyways, I got this woman, man, selling my house, man. She, answering calls. She's gonna get a fee, a nominal fee, once she sells the house. But yeah, she's doing her thing, man. She, she's motivated. She knows what's involved. She knows um how pertinent it is to sell the house. It's it's that's what I'm talking about. And the thing is that when it comes to, if you got a good situation going on with anybody, tapping into their power and their skill set can make you money. Okay, your employer, if you're there, you're making them money. They're not just paying you for just, being there. Even if you're a pretty woman behind the counter and you're a cashier, that's an old business technique to basically, you got a model that basically, because you're attracting customers. A pretty woman, she works a retail store, she's attracting customers coming in there. Any business owner, they know what they're doing when they have a pretty woman behind the register. They basically a paid model. They're there to attract people to come in and out their store and spend money. Ideally simps that is trying to impress that woman by buying stuff out of the store. So that's, pretty much, I mean, that's a good uh um a good thing to, focus on what can I do to tap into power and influence to lead me down this road where I'm going to make some money. Not just thinking about money, money, money. Think about how can I tap into power. And one of the things that I thought about was power is within the people. People have the power. You know, I think the Black Panther Party said power to the people, right? Well, because the people do have a lot. People are the power. You know, like for example, nobody makes money. I mean, people, man has money. You don't like, man has the money, right? Money is a thing where men have that. Men and women have money. How do you get money? You get it from men and women. And who has it? Men and women. People have the money. So when you say power to the people, well, the people have the power. They do have the power. Like they're the ones that have the power. They have the influence as well. And when you tap into it, they basically they have the ability to make you money. When you assemble a team of interior designers, a real estate agent, contractors of all sorts, plumbers, electricians, HVAC guys, carpenters, laborers, so let's say you got some appliances coming in, you got some refrigerators, stoves, you got, ranges, whatever. You need people to help you bring this into this house. You need laborers, right? You need all these people to, basically tap into their labor, their power, and you're gonna pay them. Then they're gonna make you money by providing you their power. That is how. That is something that I just basically really tapped in today, and I just wanted to just put that out into the ether and kind of like bring that to you to show you, no, you're not getting over on your job is getting over on you.
Message.
You might be so grateful that you got that job because a lot of people operate off of being low, very low as far as money is concerned. A lot of people come from intergenerational poverty, and they're so thankful that they got this job. They so happy that they got this job. And they don't realize they're making that job money. Like me, for example, I just got hired from a company. Do you know how much workload they actually are taking off of their chest by having me working there? They were getting, okay, like before they hired me, it was somebody that I think they let go or somebody left or whatever. They have people that contact them on a day-to-day basis, like from the hours of 8 to 5 o'clock or whatever. And they have things they got projects going on, things they got to do, and also tickets that they got to process. Man, without like basically once they hired me, I realized why they hired me, because basically I took like a chunk of that workload that they needed processing, that they needed someone to answer the phones. I basically like took a like pretty much a chunk of that workload, once they hired me. Like without them hiring someone, that it was going to bring stress and workload to the other people in the department. They needed someone else to take that workload, and it's like, yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, my job is cool because I mean I don't really make that much, but I don't have to go to the office every day. I work like, a couple days in the office and the rest at home. So it's really, it's really, I enjoy it. This is like my first like hybrid position, but my goal is to, basically be in a on the right side, you know, um go back to the right side, like, or actually go full time to the right side. That's my ultimate goal. I'm getting really close to it. I'm pretty I'm pretty thrilled about that because the more momentum that you build up, the more you can be an investor before or a business owner, because you need capital to be in a business owner and an investor. You do need capital, you know. But I will say, me focusing in on power and influence is definitely a game changer for me because I'm thinking, okay, money, 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 but power and influence is really more powerful than even money in a lot of regards, because you gonna get money from power and influence. It's kind of like a system. And when you got power and influence, money pretty much follows that. So these thoughts, this conversation is not nothing new. You said regular employees don't want to do no more because they don't get paid for it. Yeah, some people operate like that, but some people go out of their way because they know they need their job. Like right now, I would say people probably are still like that because the work environment now, because you got AI slashing jobs, and then you got a lot of layoffs. They even talking about Hooters is filing bankruptcy. They letting go Hooters girls. So it's really, in times like that, people probably will try to, they are focusing in on their job. They're like, damn, I could be replaced. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. People do not get paid being a volunteer. But I mean, when you do that, when you show up and make a name for yourself, you possibly can get, some type of, you could get some type of preference. It been many times. What's going on, seeking my creator? It's been many times, man, that people have been went above and beyond, and they got some type of preference where it comes to like some type of job opening, some type of new position or something like that. And it's times that hasn't worked. It's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed, besides death and taxes, as they say. And death is probably more guaranteed than taxes, because you can probably go to another country and avoid taxes. Um, but you can't avoid the um, Grim Reaper, as they say. So, the thing is that a lot of people, they don't look at it from a position of, I actually do have real life power. I do provide some type of power. Women have power, men have power. Like, the more skills that you have, those are powerful. That's a form of power. When I get on the phone and I'm helping techs out with their problems with computers and stuff like that, I don't even have to get training for that. I've been dealing with Windows computers for over almost 20 years. I know how to help them navigate that. I have a new job like I never even had. My role now is a field implementation specialist. I never even had something like that. But I don't really have to do much. Like, my other job, I had to do all kind of stuff. I got paid more. I got probably close to $10 more than what I get now, but I had to go there every day. I had to do like a whole bunch of crap. I had to image like 20 laptops, desktops a day. I had to put them on the shelf. I had to process repairs. I had to ship out stuff. I had to um process new employee bags and respond to emails, meetings, and be there every single day, until open to close. I mean, it's like, dude, I'll be honest with you. Y'all can keep that extra. You can keep the extra $10 an hour because I'd rather just, work the phones, process tickets, and then I only have to go to the office a couple days a week. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still helping out. I'm still, dealing with workloads, right? Workload management, right? But I ain't gotta do all of the heavy lifting I was in my last role was a IT specialist, and it's like, yeah, man, don't get me wrong, this is what I do now, but what my goal is, again, what I'm working towards is being an investor, being a full-time investor or business owner, primarily investing in real estate, stocks, options, maybe possibly. I'm really focusing in on probably getting back into forex. I'm gonna try to get back. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get back into forex. When I say I'm pretty sure, I see opportunities again in it, and I'm kind of I'm gonna get. I think I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get back into forex. And forex allows you to actually day trade. You can day trade with forex. You don't. They don't have the minimum. They don't have a PDT rule in forex. So those are things that I'm working on right now. And I'm trying to, of course, build up momentum, but I got a lot of stuff going on as well. You know, there's a lot of things going on. But like I said, I mean, I got my monetization back, so you know what I'm saying. A brother back on YouTube partner program, man. Shout out to YouTube, man. They gave a brother his super chat back. After, like, man, I lost. When did I lose my super chat, man? My monetization. I lost my monetization. I want to say it was like I want to say 2020 or 2019 is when I lost my monetization. And I mean, it was for some stupid crap, you know, but yeah, I had lost it. And it just, like, I'm gonna be honest, like, the reason why it took me so long to get it was I didn't have the watch hours. But I figured out how to get watch hours. And I'll say it. I'll tell you, it's all in the shorts. You gotta engage people with shorts. You know what I'm saying? The shorts is it. Like, that's how you actually get watch hours. While you, like, it's a combination of shorts. So when you pulling out some fire shorts, and it could be stuff that's already viral, right? And it's not really on YouTube like that. And then once they see shorts, you could put in like 4 or 5 minute videos, 3 minute videos, whatever, and then, what I'm saying, that'll get your watch hours up. And I'm talking about, like, I'll even give it away. Like, I really wasn't trying to give it away, but it's almost an energy like thing. You got to put out shorts and videos like you're fucking bipolar, and that works. Like, I mean, it's like you gotta crunch them out like you crazy. And for some reason that energy works, like where you putting out all these shorts, these crazy ass shorts and stuff. And I mean it could be niche towards what you put out. Like, I'm all over the place, so I can just put out all kind of stuff. But the combination of shorts, then like 4 or 5 minute videos, um, just putting them out like a crazy madman will get you those watch hours. Now, some people are able to get watch hours from doing live streams for like, long periods, like 5 or 6 or 7 hours or 8 hours. I have never tried that because I don't have the stick wittedness to go 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 hours doing live streams, and I don't even have the engagement. You know what I'm saying? People don't be. I don't really like. Some people are good at live streaming. I'm okay at it, but some people are really good at live streaming. I don't even want to say they're good at it. They have a bunch of friends, a bunch of pals that will engage with them. I think I called to one too many people broke, so I lost all my friends. I lost, I lost all my pals because I started talking too much shit. You said, how do you get watch hours? I just said it. I just said it, man. You got to post whatever your content is based off of, like your niche. Try to post shorts, download shorts, and put your own commentary in it, and then short videos. And you got to put it like crazy. I'm not talking like one a day. I'm talking like any time of day. Like it could be 4 or 5 times a day. It could be a couple. Like, I mean, it's almost like do it like it's a frequency. Like you're a madman. Like you're on fucking death row and they can call you up to be executed anytime. But in that meantime, you gotta post. You gotta you gotta increase your watch hours and post a bunch of shorts. And you could clip your own videos and put shorts in it too. Like you could do that. I've done that, and I did that, and I was surprised. I was like, damn, 500 views. I just said be a man, and then I got 500 views on the short. I was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, you gotta post like a fucking crazy person. You gotta just keep posting, man. And the shorts get pushed. YouTube pushes shorts because they trying to compete with TikTok. They trying to compete with TikTok, so they push out those shorts if you push them, if you upload them, and then actually, it's like it could be like how-to videos. A lot of people don't know how to do shit, like change a tire, change some oil on your car, um, do stuff like that or whatever. Go fishing. I was driving today. It took me a long time to get home. I saw a whole bunch of people fishing, pulling out the rod and reel, trying to go catch some fish. Like, it's kind of tripped out, but like, yeah, like just go catch a fish one day. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, to be honest, man, people want that type of stuff, man. They want to see, real world stuff, man. They don't really want people talking. Well, actually, not really. They do. Um, depending on what the video is, sometimes women attract. So if you put shorts with women talking, you probably get more engagement. Depending on what's going on, you'll get more engagement from a short from some woman talking if you're gonna do that, because they're people are attracted. People are, this country is basically strongly gynocratic. So anything women related, like if I was a woman, obviously I would have probably 20 people watching or 200 people watching. If I had big tits and I was a woman, I would have at least 200 people watching. I just have a photo of me with a halter top with my racks out, and then I have a whole bunch of people, You know, at least probably 10 times as much people watching. Because women, you know, women have you know, a stronger influence, man. You know, I don't know why. I think because guys focus. I don't know. It's a combination of women feel comfortable with listening to women, and then men are horny bastards. And I admit, like sometimes I be horny. I don't want to listen to no dudes when my dick is hard. I don't want to listen to no motherfucking dudes talking. You know, it could be a live stream and I've been, you know, really into it. And then all of a sudden my dick get hard. And then I'm like, man, I gotta turn off these motherfuckers, man. It's like, I mean, you know, usually I just turn off YouTube. It ain't like I go from listening to a live stream with some niggas talking about, you know, whatever they talking about, and then I just go look for, you know, a broad talking. No, I just turn YouTube off. But I mean, you know, dudes be horny, man. They want to listen to it broad, man. I think some of these dudes be busting off to women be talking, man. You know, be gooning, gooning the women talking on YouTube. But yeah, man. That's what I did, man. The live streams, they don't really, for me, the live streams don't increase no watch hours. I don't really get a lot of views from live streams. Some I do. It depends on what I talk about, but I don't. Most of the watch time comes from videos and shorts, and it took me like I just figured that out like 6 months ago. I figured that out 6 months ago. I heard people actually talking about it, but talking about it versus actually doing it, me doing it the way I did it, that increased the watch time hours. Like my series on being it ain't broke being it's not easy being broke. A couple of those videos actually increased my, like one or two of those videos alone helped me increase my watch time hours. It was some Mexican chicks in Compton, California, you know, that increased my watch time hours. They was they had was getting their nails done, and they was trying to leave the nail shop without paying. And it was a sister girl in there calling them out for trying to leave the Koreans without paying for their nails. And I don't know, for some reason that video went up to like 150,000 views. You know what I'm saying? And it was like a couple other videos that helped me increase my watch time hours, man. It was just consistently, man, putting up videos, man. You know, videos and shorts, man. That's, you know, that's the formula. But the shorts didn't help me increase my watch time hours. I think the shorts brought eyeballs to my channel. My to get watch time hours up with shorts, man, is crazy. You got to get like, what do you got to get, like 5 million short views or 3 million or something like that. Like I think like 10 million or something like that. That's crazy. In order to have that, in order for you to be able to do that, you would have to have a short that goes viral. Like no, you have to have at least one or two or three shorts to actually go viral. And going viral is, that's, I'm not gonna say it's impossible, but it's like the right things have to go, like it's the right things got to be involved in order to go viral. I'm talking about a million plus views. That usually that that usually does not happen. People don't have, I don't have no content that has a million views. I think the most views is like 100, maybe 300,000, something like that. Like in order to get a million views, it has to be like very unique. Like you have to go viral, and that's what they're talking about for the watch time hours for the shorts. I didn't get no watch time hours equivalent from shorts, because you gotta. I think they want you to have like 5 million or something views from shorts, or 3 million or something like that. So in order to even do that, you have to have like a whole bunch of shorts that go over 100,000 or more. Which I have a no, I don't even think I have that. You'd really, yeah, you'd have to have a whole bunch of those to do that, or a couple that literally go viral that get over 1 million views, and that's very difficult for a short to go viral. I mean, you damn near gotta get a woman to go play with a banana or some shit, to do something like that. Like you gotta have like some unique video or something to do that. Like go viral is like not that easy. Some people actually know how to do that, but I ain't never had nothing the like only thing I had was like over 100,000 views. That was what I had or whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, basically, I'm black and I'm back on YouTube with my super chat, man. Holla at your boy if you wanna send a super chat with your name. Everybody can see it. Everybody can see you in your super chat with your channel name on it. But I'm cool. I ain't really, like for example, O'Shea, he don't really do lives. He do uploads. He do video uploads. He don't even really do shorts really that much. He do video uploads, and he make a ton of money with video uploads with ad revenue. And one of the things I'll say, if you got a lot of videos, and if some of them are if they're able to be monetized, that's you gonna make money off of just basically the video uploads alone, because people watch the uploads. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm watching this one video on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, on Twitter. This young dude, he got a mobile detail van, and he like basically detailing a Audi A8, and he got like all his equipment in his van. Dude got a sprayer, he got all his equipment and everything in his van. And this dude ain't nothing but like a Generation Z. This dude he ain't no millennial, I don't even think. This dude kicking butt, man. It looked like this is let me see the plate. They show the plate. Let me put this in the chat. Put this video in the chat, man. Yeah, that's a no. It's an Audi S8, and the dude, the dude's car, he said, is a millionaire. This is what I'm talking about. When I talk about business, that's what I'm talking about. Like, dude just got he got a in his van. He got a generator in his van, so that's if he need electricity, he can basically he got everything in his van already. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what I'm talking about, man. You know what I'm saying? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I put the link in the chat, in case you want to check that out, man. That dude, like, you could start something like that, man, and you could literally have a mobile detailing business, and just go to people, man. You could go to people, man. Basically, they during their lunch break, you could go clean their car. You go to their business, you can go to their job, you can go to their house. And people, I'm gonna be honest, like, people do need detailing, because people be in their car a lot. Your car is like your house. You need your house to be cleaned up. Some people just need help cleaning their car, cleaning their house. Like, man, you could do both. You could do detailing, mobile detailing. You could clean people's houses. Man, you can make tons of money, man, out here, man, because people be tired, man. They ain't got the ability. Man, people be coming home. They be tired every day, bro. They need somebody to basically clean up their house. They need somebody to clean up their car. Like they probably need their car clean once a month. They need their house clean probably every week. No, you could have a deal, you could have a package where you could have I'll clean your house and your car. I'll clean your car once a month and then your house twice a week. I mean no, twice basically 4 times a month. And your car, you get a free detail with your package for cleaning up your house. And man, people gonna go for it because people, man, be up in their car, they be eating crumbs, they be eating chips and fries and shit. They got fries all in their cup holder and grease and ketchup, and they just need help, man. People be like most people tired, man. Like most, I can promise you that as a person that does all kind of stuff, like people, the average person is tired. They don't have the time and the energy to really clean up like they want to. Women are not stay-at-home wives anymore. They're not stay-at-home housewives. So they don't have the energy a lot of times to clean up. They need help. You know, God knows men need help, and then they need help cleaning their car out. They got kids throwing chicken nuggets and fries and everything through the seats. They, throwing gummy worms and fruit snacks all in the car. They need somebody to clean that stuff up, man. Like I say, like at least I would say once a month, because a car is gonna get dirty, but you don't. Depending on what you got going on, I think once a month, because most people don't even get their car detailed at all. They don't even get their get car detailed at all. So once a month is like overkill because people don't even get their car detailed at all. So you can have like a package where you can do a year package once a month. You could detail their car and you could charge them $1,000. It probably be times where they probably be too busy for you to even clean the car. Like a lot of times people got gym memberships. They don't even use the gym membership because they too tired to go to the gym. I want to say lazy. It is lazy too. It is laziness. They don't go to the gym. You know how many people have gym memberships and they don't pay? I mean, they don't go to the gym and they just paying for a membership. It'll be just like that, man. You offer people like $1,500 or $1,000 to get a free, I mean, basically a detail, their car detailed, professionally detailed, and their car washed once a month, anytime, anywhere they're at. Man, they gonna jump on it, and then 9 times out of 10, they gonna miss a few of them months because they gonna go out of town, they gonna go on vacation, they gonna be too tired, they gonna forget. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard for them to actually work it out with you to get that detailing, and they already paid for it. Like, man, check that out, man. Check that video out, man. It's a good idea. Very good idea, man. Most people need their car detailed. And a house clean, apartment clean, whatever. It's a service-based economy, man. A lot of people, man, they need help, man. And they realizing can't do everything by yourself. Power and influence, man. Power, using other people's energy to give you more time to get rest without being guilty. Like, you got your house clean once a week. You can rest without the guilt of I ain't clean my house. you already had somebody clean your house. You get in your car clean, your house clean, and all you did was pay somebody a fee for their services. That's power. It's power in that, and that's gonna give you more peace of mind. That's gonna give you, more time to do other things without having to worry about, damn, my car dirty. Oh, my house is messed up. I ain't washed my dishes. You know, um, that's kind of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how you can get some of your life back and how you can use people's power to help your life out. Help you in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what like I said, that's what these companies do. That's pretty much how that's one. I'm basically giving you the secret of the entrepreneurial class and the business class. I'm giving you that is how they make money. They make money off of other people's basically labor and capital. Their capital, their human resource capital. It's how they make money. Your grandma used to clean people's, clothes and all of that, back in the 1940s and 30s. A lot of black women used to have to, go to white people's houses and clean their house, clean their clothes and everything. And they did that because they needed help. They needed help to, basically so they can go out and work, and, they needed some extra hands. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it's not much change. I mean, it's just gotten bigger. It's gotten a lot bigger. Like, knowing that can be like your edge. So I don't really have nothing else to say. I think I pretty much said what I needed to say. Um, I will be going live more often. Definitely will be going live more often. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna even lie to you. Like, it be people, I ain't gonna lie, man. I promise on my mama, I be checking out people, man, and I be looking for their content. Like, it'd be like late at night before I go to bed or something. I'm trying to watch something, and it ain't nothing. It's the same video from yesterday or 2 days ago or a week ago. And I'm like, damn, man, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, I'll be like, damn, man, what the hell, bro? Why don't you make a video, man? You could make 2 videos at one time and it still wouldn't be enough. Like, you be thinking people don't want to listen. People want to listen to your content. They want more than what you think they want more than what you actually are providing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna definitely be trying to mix it up, you know what I'm saying? For sure. You know.
Ask 50. I hope you didn't mind if I ask you if we can kick it. I need stimulation intellectually, sapiosexually. I feel electricity when you're next to me. You got that fine-tuned energy, divine masculinity, and yes, I desire for you to enter me. Though you's a physical entity, the spiritual chemistry connects us on the level of infinity. Cause what I'm singing is a god-like figure, dark chocolate and color, the same one they call nigga now. You got me feeling like yes.